Welcome back to Rewind 2024. We're in day 2, Sunday, and I am here with a man that needs no introduction, Mr. Midge. It's a pleasure. It's
Again.
like deja vu.
It is deja vu.
We sat here last year and we talked well. So, for any of you who don't know, Midge and I had a chat last year. We talked Visage, we talked Band-Aid, we talked Ultravox and Lizzie and all of the sort of journey. But so we're not going to talk about that today.
Okay.
So you're off the hook there. There's a couple of things I do want to talk about. First of all, you celebrated your 70th birthday last year, and you had a one-off concert in the Albert Hall.
Yeah,
a very special gig for you. I want you to tell us all about that.
Well, my agent pointed out that it was going to be a significant birthday coming up, and he said, "What do you want to do about it?" And I said, "Well, nothing really." He said, "Well, don't you think you should maybe celebrate it?" So he suggested the Albert Hall, but because of COVID, lockdown, all of that stuff, anyone who had been booked into the Albert Hall was pushed way back. And then the moment it opened up again, they got all the slots.
Right.
So it wasn't going to be available for 2 years, which meant it wasn't going to happen ever. Then, miracle, a slot opened up 3 or 4 days before my birthday. So we grabbed it, and it was one of these magnificent nights where people flew in from all over the world to come and be there to celebrate this moment, this life moment. And it was great. I mean, I couldn't have thought of a better way of doing it. The idea of sitting having a party is horrendous. But having a party with 5,000 people was great.
Much better, right? That's a proper party.
That was a proper party.
So obviously that was just but you are actually celebrating 50 years in the music industry this year. So congratulations, a wonderful milestone.
Thank you.
I think there are a couple of other people around here that are around that sort of landmark at the moment. But obviously we're about Perthshire at the moment. We're in Perthshire at Scoom Palace, and you are coming back to Perthshire to the Perth Concert Hall on December the 13th for your Catalogue tour, which is a celebration of 50 years in the music industry.
Yeah.
So tell us, what can we expect? We're going to be there, can't wait, and it hasn't sold out, excuse me, if it hasn't sold out already, you can get tickets on the Perth Theatre and Concert Hall website. Tell us a bit more about what to expect.
It stemmed from the Albert Hall.
Oh, right. Okay.
You know, we did that, and it was a celebration of it felt like a life in music, and the response to it was so incredible. I thought, hold on a second, we have to take this out. So many people couldn't get there. So I devised this whole thing about Catalogue. This Catalogue to me is from the moment I started writing songs right through to today. So that encompasses quite a lot of stuff. You know, it's the Rich Kids, it's Visage, it's Ultravox, maybe even a bit of Thin Lizzy in there. So that journey, trying to compress that into one show, which I still haven't done yet. I've still got to figure. I've got a bit of time to knock that together. So to do that thing where it's hits, of course, but maybe a few tracks that people might not have heard you play live, but like fan favourites. So yeah, it's good.
And have you played at Perth Theatre and Concert Hall?
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful venue.
We were actually, Dougie McLean, who you obviously know, he celebrated his 50 years in the industry this year as well. We were at his concert where he had an intimate concert at the Concert Hall about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was beautiful. There was lots of musicians that he's been friends with and recorded with, who joined him on stage. Are we going to get the similar sort of view? You're going to be joined on stage by some musician friends?
Well, hopefully they can help me in my band.
Yeah,
it'll be a very lonely tour if I'm on my own. I haven't planned on that yet. I mean, I think people, certainly at the Albert Hall, people will say, "Oh, you're going to have an orchestra. Oh, you're going to have these guys. You go, oh, you're going to bring on Kate Bush. You're going to do it." You think, what? It's difficult because everyone's all over the shop. So right now, I'm just concentrating on trying to get the right balance on the music, because I had this horrible realization a couple of years ago where it struck me that 50% of the audience of any show you do don't really want to be there because they've been dragged along by the significant other. So they're the ones who only know the handful of hits. They're the ones that got played on the radio a lot or whatever. So they're the ones you've got to try and entertain, not the hardcore fans, because they'll love whatever you do. So you've got to think, okay, how do I get to those people? There's a fine balance in doing that. So I'll concentrate on that first.
Was one song I wanted to touch on. If I was, okay, was it? Now this is a really special song for you because I know that you've obviously gone through, like everyone else, you have lots of troubles, as long as your highs and your lows. And If I Was has been a really poignant song that you use to sort of engage with all that. Tell us about that song, because I get the impression it's a very personal and a very important song to you.
Well, I think they're all kind of important to me. I don't sit and kind of invent scenarios to write about. You write about what affects you. You know, what you read, what you see, what's on television, what the state the world's in. If I Was a song that I worked with a fellow songwriter in Glasgow, Danny Mitchell, and he had the bones of this song on a cassette.
Yeah.
And I'd just finished building my first recording studio in my garden, like you do,
Of course,
like everyone has, and I was figuring out how it all worked. And I thought, well, I need to record something. So I found this song, altered it, changed it, did whatever. So the bones of the song is actually Danny's, because all musicians go through highs and lows. All people go through highs and lows. You don't have to be the public eye to have troubles. I don't know anyone who's got a career in any industry that goes constant up or a constant down. It does this. It's like a sound wave, isn't it? It does this, peaks and troughs. And If I Was one of those things that, weirdly, the president of Latvia, I was playing Latvia many years ago, and he invited me to the palace because he saw If I Was as a kind of flagship song for their struggles as a country. Yes,
That's interesting.
So it was interesting sitting and having a cup of tea with them and through an interpreter, understanding that this was something that helped bolster the country together, which I'd never thought of a song in that
I really
respect.
connected with that song. It's a very personal song, which is why I asked you about it. But it's funny because obviously I hadn't considered it in that type of sort of context.
They saw something, they read something into the song that you know, endorsed what they were feeling.
Yeah.
Which is what you do with music.
Yeah, absolutely.
We interpret it.
Another bit, obviously, recently Chris passed away. Someone you've obviously performed with and written with for decades. So I guess this Catalogue tour now gives you an opportunity not just to celebrate your life in music, but to celebrate your Chris's as well, and take him on that journey with you. I mean, it must be very difficult at this time.
Especially difficult because it was so unexpected.
Right.
It was, it was an aneurysm. We went to sleep, didn't wake up. Nothing wrong with him. He didn't, there wasn't a decline in his health. There's nothing. And Chris and I were the guys within Ultravox who designed the stage sets. Worked on the artwork. We directed the videos. We directed videos for Bananarama and Phil Lynott and Funboy 3 and a whole pile of things we did. So we were like the bosom buddies within the band. Although we're all friendly, but he was my soulmate. Very difficult. But it does give you an opportunity to go out and look at some of the Ultravox stuff that we'd worked on together. We used to go off in camper vans and we'd drive up here. We'd come up to the north of Scotland, up through Scotland, up to the Highlands and Islands and stuff, and work on lyrics together. Just because we were mates, it was easy to do that. So dreadfully missed, very sad. But it gives me an opportunity to celebrate what he contributed to the band as well.
No, that's good. I mean, we're getting rushed here because I know everyone's short of time. Bob Geldof's in tonight. Will you be getting behind the scenes, having a catch up? Because obviously everyone thinks that when you and Bob get together, you talk about Band Aid live, and that's
we will be talking about Band Aid because we've got a lot to catch up. There's a lot of stuff going on. So we will be chatting about that. But I have to tell you now, and I'll tell Bob as well, by the time he's walked on stage, I'll be halfway back to Glasgow.
Well, look, it's always a pleasure, and I'll look forward to seeing you in December. December 13th, don't miss it.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Cheers, man. Thank you.